Dear students, good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about 8th standard Civics, Unit 6, Defense and Foreign Policy. Before enter the lesson, shall we see the learning objectives in this lesson. The students, they want to understand their acquire knowledge and their introduction about the lesson. See, what are the learning objectives in this lesson? Shall we see one by one. The Indian Armed Forces, Paramilitary Defense Forces, Foreign Policy of India, India relations with neighboring countries. See, first we see the defense. We see the introduction about the lesson. We know very well, India is a peace-loving country. So, India has always maintained cordial relationship with all other countries in general and with its neighboring in particular. So, at the same time, it has to strengthen its security to defense border from any foreign aggression. So, the government of the India is taking higher priorities to the defense sector. They given high priority to the which sector? They given only the defense sector. So let us understand the various defense forces of our country. Shall we discuss one by one? What are the needed for to defense system? We know national security is very essential for the political, social, economic development for any other country. So it is also a what? Very important for the growth of country, peace and prosperity. So we see Indian Defense Services. So the President of India is being of a head of the state. They only occupies the highest position in our defense organization. So he is the supreme commander, okay, of the armed forces in India. We know what are the security forces in India can be divided into. We know Indian Armed Forces, Paramilitary Forces and Central Armed Police Forces. So they are classified into how many types? There are three types. One is the Indian Armed Forces, another one is the Paramilitary Forces and another one is the Central Armed Police Forces. See, we see now Indian Armed Forces. We know that is a they are what? Only the primary forces. They consist of a country's army, navy, air force and coast guard. So we serve as under the Ministry of Defense. Ministry of what? Defense. Paramilitary forces, they are Assam Rifles and Special Frontier Force. These are called what? Paramilitary forces. And then Central Armed Police Forces. See, they are BSF, CRPF, ITBB, CSSF and SSP. I will explain after. See now, they only serve under the authority of the Ministry of Home Affairs and then CAPF, and they work along with both, and then the police, they ruled that different assigned to them. They allowed to the different force. Next we see Indian Armed Forces. See, Indian Armed Forces, first we discuss about the army. We know army, the Indian army is the land-based branch and it the largest volunteer army in the world. So it is commanded by the who? Chief of Army Staff. So that is Chief of Army Staff. That is COAS. The expansion of COAS, Chief of Army Staff. So that is who is a 4-star general. So the general prime missions of the Indian Army is to ensure the what? National security. They only want to ensure the national security, national unity, defending the national from external aggression, internal threats. They only maintaining the peace and security also. So whatever it may be, whenever it may be, when they border, they want to align that. So it conducts humanitarian calamities. The Indian Army is recognized to the system. It is generally opposed and geographically divided into what? The 7 commands. So first we discuss about army. Next we will discuss about what? Navy. So the primary objective of the navy is to what? Safeguard. That is what was safeguard to the national maritime borders. They want to understand what are maritime borders and the conjunction with other hand to formed of the force. And they want unity in their nations and then union too of the territories. So they have to detect and defeat any other aggressions or any other against to the territory. Then the people they are maritime. They want to assess their interest of their India. So what are the major navies? That is a naval staff and then 4-star admiral and then commands. They have to given the 3 naval commands. So this is about what? A navy. And next we will discuss about that Air Force. We know very well the Indian Air Force is the arm of the Indian Armed Forces. So it's what is the primary machines to ensure and then appreciate to the conduct aerial of the welfare and then armed conflict. So the chief of the armed staff, they have to chief marshal and then 4-star officer and given to responsible to bulk of the operational command. They only want to give the bulk of operational command. So it has what? How many commands? There are based on what? How many commands? 7 commands also. Next we will discuss about Indian Coast Guard. That is ICG. What is the expansion of ICG? Indian Coast Guard. So the Indian Coast Guard was established in the year of 1971. At the time only they established the Indian Coast Guard. In which year? 1978. By the Coast Guard Act 1978 of the Parliament of India, the independent armed force of the India. So it operates under the Ministry of Defence. They only what? Administrate. And then it operates under the Ministry of what? Defence. We already discussed foreign policy. Now we are going to see that what? Defense policy. So the Coast Guard's work department, they are choosing that close cooperation with Indian Navy. Only close cooperation with whom? That is the Indian Navy. Okay, are you understood? So the department, they can fishers, the department, revenue. The revenue means what? Who are called the revenues? Customers only cost the costumes. That is and the central and state provided. So, okay, are you understood? Okay, next we will discuss about paramilitary defense forces. What it mean by paramilitary defense forces? The forces which help in maintaining internal security. They want to maintain that what? Internal security, protecting the coastline and assisting the arm as known as the paramilitary forces. The responsibility, what is the responsibility for paramilitary forces? They have to conduct that places, that is important places are railway stations, oil fields and refineries, water reservoirs lines. These are the very important lines in the paramilitary defense forces. They also participate in the management of water, natural or any other thing. That is, they have to collect their man-made disaster also. We know very well, during peacetime, the paramilitary forces also they divided into what? Responsibility for international borders. That is the Assam Rifle and what? The Special Frontier Force. See, first we will discuss about the Assam Rifles. So what do you mean by the Assam Rifles? The Assam Rifles came into being in the year of 1835. At the time they only established with the British in the Assam region. So as the military by called the Capture Levy. That is currently how many? 46 battalions of Assam Rifles, and then it under the control of the Ministry of Home Affairs, that is MHC. So the Special Frontier Force, that is SFF. So the Special Frontier Force is what? Paramilitary. That also what? Paramilitary special for both India. They want to created in the year of only 1960. So at the time of the under the director supervisions, the intelligence bureau, and later under the research and analysis wings, they have to external intelligence energy. So these are the main things we studied about that the Assam Rifles and then Special Frontier Force. Now we discuss about the Central Armed Police Force. That is CAPF. I already told you the word CAPF stands for the Central Armed Police Forces. Following 5 forces which come under the Ministry of Home Affairs were earlier considered that the paramilitary force, but in the year of March 2011. So have reclassified and Central Armed Police the forces into the what? we want to confuse, that is avoid the confusion. That is what are the 5 major? The Central Reserve Police Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, the Border Security Force, Central Industrial Security Force, and Special Service Bureau. So that is a yes as P. See, now we discuss about the Central Reserve Police Force. That is telling what expansion is Central Reserve Police Force. Short form is CRPF. So see, the mission of Central Reserve Police Force shall to be enable the government to maintain rule of law and public under and internal security effectively and efficiently, to preserve national integrity and promote social harmony. They want to maintain the what? Social harmony and development by upholding the supremacy of the constitution. So the Rapid Action Forces is what a specialized wing, the CRPF, that is a Central Reserve Police Force, due to deal with the riot, that is a crowd control, resource and relief operations and related unrest situations. This is about what the Central Reserve Police Force. Next we will discuss about Indo-Tibetan, that is a border force, that is we are telling ITBP. What ma? ITBP. So it is a border guarding police force. This force is specialized in high altitude operations. It is deployed for bordering to assess the duties from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh. Ladakh to AP, that is Arunachal Pradesh. That is India. That border is called what now? India-China border. Then we will discuss about the border security forces. That is called BSF. The border security force is a border guarding force of in where? India. So BF is charged guarding India is a land border to during the peacetime and preventing they are to manage the traditional, that is a transactional carries. So next we will discuss about that Central Industrial Security Force, that is called CISF. So the Central Industrial Security Force was set up in the year of, that is a parliament in when that is came means 10th March 1969. Its duties are guarding sensitive governmental buildings, the Delhi Metro and providing airport security. So Sasastra Seema Ball and Special Service Bureau, that is called what ma'am? SSB. See, the Sasastra Seema Ball in year of the Armed Force, it is a guarding from the border Nepal and Bhutan, that is the border. And we will see the Home Guard. See, what are the Home Guard? The Indian Home Guard is a voluntary force, that is a voluntary force tasked as an auxiliary to the Indian force. So the home guards are recruited from various cross sections with along the civil society and then professional, the college students, agriculture and then industrial and then workers who give their times for betterment of the community. So all the citizens in India, they have to in the group of 18 to 50, they only eligible for the home guards. So normal tenure of membership in home guards is 3 to 5 years. So they want to protect what our nation or armed force also kept ready. So youth should came to forward to service and save the nation by joining the armed forces. So the requirement to came what the defense forces, it is also open to all the Indians. So it is the duty to for every citizen, they have to opportunity to in the serve of the country. Next we will see, now we discuss about defense policy. Now we see the foreign policy of India. See, a foreign policy is a set of political goals that define how a sovereign country will interact with the other countries in the world. That only we are going to discuss. That is a major part. See, so it seeks to secure the best interest to the people and territory and economy of the country. So our country's external relations is based on certain principles and policies. So Indian foreign policies evolved with the background of colonial sufferings. So what are the basic principles of foreign policy? See, very important 5 more questions. Preservation of national interest, achievement of world peace, disarmament, abolition of colonialism, racism and imperialism. So increasing the number of friendly nations and economic development. Next we will discuss about Panchashil. Who developed the Panchashil? That is Jawaharlal Nehru. He only the first Prime Minister of India, we know very well. was the chief architect of Indian foreign policy. So Nehru was a supporter of the world peace. He only supported. Who was a supporter of world peace means what you want to write? Nehru only the supporter of world peace. So hence he gave to utmost importance to the world peace in his policy of the planning. So he only declared the 5 principles of peace. Who declared that? Jawaharlal Nehru only declared that 5 principles. That is called the Panchashil. What ma? Panchashil. What are the principles? That principles what are they? Mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. So mutual non-aggression. Mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs. So equality and mutual benefit. Peaceful coexistence. These are the principles including Panchashil. So next we will discuss about non-alignment. So the word non-alignment was coined by who? V.K. Krishna Menon. So he only aligned the non-alignment. So non-alignment is recognized by as most important feature of Indian foreign policy. So what is the aim to create the non-alignment? They want affairs to not joining and military alliance for the USA, United States of America, and Soviet Union in the alignment. They needed neutrality and not influence of the isolation. So they have to committing to them to military bloc, that is aligned from the independent stand, that is the international uses. So the founding fathers of non-alignment of movement: Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Tito of Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Sukarno of Indonesia, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. So we know India's relation with the neighboring countries also. See what are that? India's position is unique, we know very well. It is a neighborhood. But India is always a favorite to international and regional cooperation. That is because of what they believe, and then through the cooperation with disputes and problem, then whatever may be, that is they created from the out of the peacefully. So anyway, the Indian policy is what? Based on the principles, that is developing friendly relation. They only maintain the what? Friendly relations, cooperation with one another. So India shares a common land border: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, China, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Burma. So it also share a common sea border for the Sri Lanka. So what are the neighborhood first policy? It is a part Indian foreign policy that actively focuses on improving the ties with the India's immediate neighbors. So India provides the neighbors with the support as needed to them and for their resources, equipment and training. So greater connectivity to the integration provided has to maintain that improves of goods, people, energy, capital and information. So what are the Act East policy? So Southeast Asia begins with the Northeast India. So Myanmar is our hand bridge to connect association with the South Asian nation, that is ASEAN. So the purpose is to ensure a stable and multiple balance of war. They have to become an integral part of an Asia. So India is actually engaged in general economic diplomacy with the neighboring country also they include. So SAARC, next we will discuss about SAARC. So India believes in regional cooperation to foster to bonds, brotherhood and cooperation and peaceful coexistence. That is the expansion of SAARC, South Asian Association for what? Regional cooperation. So established India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Afghanistan also. This is the 8 members of the SAARC. What are the 8 members of the SAARC means? I already told you have to write that. And BCM, the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic coordinate envisages to formation of the thieving economic belt. They only focusing the cross border transport and the energy and the telecommunication also. BIMSTEC, see, it refers only the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economical Cooperation. So it has a main objectives to strengthen and improve that technical economic cooperation, international trade and foreign direct investment also. So the member of the countries are Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Bhutan and Nepal. So BBIN, last we will discuss about the topic BBIN, that is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal has signed in the framework to enable movement of passengers, cargo vehicles and for energy development. So to summarize, India is a huge country. We can conclude this lesson. To summarize, India is a what? A huge country with manifold cultures. So it is high state in South Asia. So we know very well it is high state. That is the foreign policy they can follow. So in cooperation among the nations too, through the India is not on any major military. So aligns our national relations with the major powers as required with the strategic depth. So as per we discussed these topics and all, we see the recaps about the lesson. The national security is very essential, not only for peace but also for the economic development. Indian Defence Forces consist of Army, Navy, Air Force, various paramilitary organizations and various inter-service institutions also. The President is the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Police Forces. So India is maintained, we know very well, cordial relationship with all the countries. So India gives highest priority to her neighbors. A peaceful peace is essential for India to achieve her multifarious development goals. So India has been implementing and foreign asymmetric engagement to strengthen bridges of friendship and create new opportunities for the growth and security. Now we see the glossary of this lesson. National security meaning is safety on nation. In Tamil, not in பாதுகாப்பு. Defense forces meaning force with arms for the safety of a country, not in பாதுகாப்பிற்கான படைகள். So neurality, the state of not supporting or helping either side in a conflict. எப்பக்கமும் ஆதரவிக்காமல் இருந்தால். Okay. Racialism, a practice of discrimination on the basis of racial origin. That is இன அடிப்படையில் வேறுபாடு காணுதல். That is caste like that. Okay. Frontier, that is nothing but a border separating two countries. That is border means what? எல்லை. As per we discussed about these topics and all. Okay, listen this video very carefully, and if you have any doubt, call and ask to my number. Thank you.